In the ancient village of Umuagbara, there lived a humble man named Nkasiobi. Years ago, he was one of the wealthiest and most respected elders in the land. Nkasiobi had many children, many wives, and a prosperous farmstead. Greed, however, led him astray, corrupting his once noble spirit. Gambling, drunkenness, and dangerous friendships turned his life sour. Now he only lived in pain and shame with his wife and son Obina. Obina was unlike other children, calm, wise, and mysterious beyond his years. Strange things often happened around him, puzzling everyone who knew him. Whenever he cried, rain would fall from the gloomy skies above. Whenever Obina laughed, birds gathered around him in joyful flight. Nighttime always brought a strange white light flickering around the child. Yet Nkasiobi ignored these signs, dismissing them as simple childhood tricks. One stormy evening, Nkasiobi sat inside his hut, furious and frustrated. "Why is my life spiraling into darkness?" he shouted aloud. Suddenly, a wicked friend named Nwokiocha appeared at the door. "Brother, I hear there's a native doctor deep in the evil forest," he whispered. "He can make you rich again, but only at a terrible price." Nkasiobi's eyes widened with greed and curiosity as he listened. "At what cost?" he asked, voice trembling with anticipation. And Nwokiocha smiled darkly, revealing his sinister intentions clearly. "The spirits only demand blood for wealth beyond your dreams." Thunder roared ominously as Nkasiobi's greed grew uncontrollably. That midnight, they stealthily entered the cursed forest under the moon. Owls cried mournfully as trees seemed to move and whisper secrets. The wind hissed like spirits whispering warnings from the shadows. In the heart of the forest stood a terrifying shrine of Ezemuo. The native doctor, clad in red feathers and skulls, greeted them with a cruel smile. "You seek riches," he said sinisterly, "but the spirits demand your first son." Nkasiobi trembled, feeling the weight of dread and desperation. "My son Obina," he queried, voice trembling with fear and hope. "Yes," declared the native doctor, "sacrifice him and riches will follow." Nkasiobi hesitated briefly, torn between love and greed's cruel whisper. In the end, greed won, and he nodded, sealing his son's grim fate. His wife, often called Nkasiobi's wife, overheard everything through a slit in the wall. She cried bitterly, clutching her chest, overcome with pain and fear. "You want to kill Obina for greed," she shouted, tears flowing freely. Nkasiobi, deaf to her pleas, slapped the wall angrily and yelled, "Silence!" "Poverty is worse than death," he declared with bitter resolve. Obina quietly listened from the doorway, his eyes filled with ancient wisdom. Instead of crying, he smiled faintly, whispering softly, "Mama, do not fear." "No evil can destroy what heaven has blessed," Obina proclaimed confidently. His mother, trembling in fear, stared at her son with disbelief and hope. How does this child know all this, she wondered anxiously. The night of sacrifice finally arrived, filled with drums and chants. The villagers gathered as Nkasiobi carried Obina dressed in white in his arms. The native doctor raised a bloodied sacrifice knife, invoking dark spirits aloud. "Spirits of darkness, accept this blood," he shouted loudly into the night. Suddenly the wind ceased, and a strange blue flame illuminated the shrine. Obina lifted his head, his eyes glowing with an unnatural fire. "You foolish mortals," he declared, voice echoing through the forest. Everyone froze in awe as the child's form radiated blinding light. Earthquake-like tremors shook the ground beneath them, threatening to split apart. Thunder exploded across the sky as the shrine cracked into fragments of ash. Obina's voice resounded further, "I am sent to judge evil hearts." Mysterious spirits appeared, swirling around him in ghosts of pure light. The shrine burst into flames, engulfed by divine fire and fury. Odomegu, overwhelmed with remorse, fell to the ground, crying, "Forgive me, my son!" Obina looked at his father with sad, compassionate eyes, saying, "Selfishness destroys." All the charms and riches in the shrine turned into writhing snakes suddenly. Nwokiocha ran madly into the forest, screaming in terror and despair. Nkasiobi's body grew weak, his strength draining away like a fading shadow. Later, villagers found Nkasiobi wandering the streets, crying, "Greed destroyed me." Obina mysteriously vanished the next morning, leaving only a white feather behind. An old prophet declared that Obina was a divine messenger sent from heaven. He warned the villagers this child was never ordinary, he was sent to expose evil. From then on, the villagers revered children and feared the power of divine gifts. Whenever thunder roared in Umuagbara, people whispered anxiously, "Obina is watching." The story of sacrifice and redemption spread across many generations. A man who sacrifices love for greed may gain riches temporarily, but loses forever. And the sacred gift of children reminds us to cherish purity and kindness always. Nkasiobi's story became a cautionary tale for generations to come. In honor of Obina, villagers built a shrine to remember his divine purpose. They learned that true wealth lies in love, humility, and righteousness.